Hi friends, and welcome to today's episode of pianoTV, which is going to be a little bit of a different episode. Instead of like a analysis or history or tutorial or anything like that, I want to share with you something really exciting and also kind of terrifying. Today we have officially launched a practice journal. So just as a brief heads up on what this thing is, it's basically a 1-year journal to just record your practice, to keep track of how much you're practicing, what pieces you're practicing, and to just have like an overview of your year. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the backstory of this journal. I want to talk to you about why I created it, why it exists, why I designed it the way I did, and so on. So basically, I've been using like a blank spiral-bound notebook to keep track of my piano practice for years and years. I've experimented with different sized notebooks, but it's pretty much always been like a blank notebook. I've seen some of the specific practice notebooks that exist on the market. None of them really appeal to me personally. I always liked to mark and make note of different things than what those journals always suggested. They always seemed a little clunky, maybe like a little bit unattractive. So anyway, I always just thought like a plain notebook was better. But I kind of had a point where I became really inconsistent with taking piano practice notes. And as someone who's been playing piano for many years, I know how important it is to keep track of your practice. And I would just kind of constantly fall into this trap of being really good about writing down what I'm practicing, but then getting like tired of the process of like always writing every single thing down and then like falling off the bandwagon and not doing anything for 3 months and then doing it again and then falling off the bandwagon again and so on. So I started getting this idea to make a journal that would give me the ability to keep track of things, but in a really simple way, so that I wasn't writing paragraphs of my practice every day, but I could keep really short, concise notes and stick to the really important details instead of feeling like I had to write so much more. So the reason we designed it the way we did, with bright colors, full color pages, a smaller size and so on, is because I didn't feel like anything like that existed. And I wanted something for myself that would be really easy to use, small, portable, but also like aesthetically appealing, because there's something nice about like opening up a notebook that is color. It isn't just like dull looking. And I knew that's the kind of thing that motivates me. So as we were kind of making this journal and creating this for myself, I started thinking like maybe other people might enjoy this kind of thing too. Maybe, you would enjoy this. So we started talking about the possibility of actually releasing the journal for other people to purchase, and now we are here. So I want to share with you exactly what you're going to find inside of this journal, just so there's no surprises, so you have like a good idea of what it contains. So every 2 sets of pages has 6 practice slots. So there's 6 spots for 6 days, and they're color divided into months. So you'll notice like everything here is pink, but then if you move a little further along, it turns into green and so on. So every color is kind of like its own monthly division. And each section has 30 spots to write in your practice notes. And it's completely up to you. I wanted to leave it open-ended. I didn't want to do it like a day planner where it literally writes in the date like September whatever in order. I wanted it to be a little bit more freeform. So if you wanted to do it for every day of the week and then just skip the days you don't practice, like leave a blank spot, you could do that. But I also wanted to make it so that if you just kind of practice at random and you wanted to use all the spaces, you could do that too. And it's still kind of divided into month chunks of practice. So in each of these individual practice sections, you have a space for writing up to 5 pieces, just really, really concise notes about those pieces. And you have a space to mark down how much time you practiced it for. There's also a space for technique, and there's somewhere where you can note if you did any sight reading, if you did any ear training, and if you listened to anything or did any listening exercises. And then we left basically like a circle. There's like a blank circle with every one of the days. And this is basically just a spot for you to make like a happy face or a frowny face or some kind of face that represents a practice session. So in addition to the daily practice spots, there's also some other stuff in this book too, which I think is important and worth mentioning. At the very front, you have a repertoire list. Now, this is basically a spot for you to write down everything that you've learned that you want to be able to maintain. So it's not something that you would write every single piece you learn down on. It's something that if you really wanted to like memorize a piece, become really good at a piece, develop a repertoire of like 10 to 20 pieces that you could just kind of play at the drop of a hat for like an impromptu performance, that's the place to do it. There's also an instructional how to use this book, which I think is a little bit helpful just because it's laid out a lot different from most practice books that you can find. One of my favorite parts about this book, and something that's completely crucial to me when I'm practicing and planning, is to set goals. So not only is there a place at the beginning to set some yearly goals, there's also in every month section, there's a monthly review. So a couple pages for you to just kind of go over how much you practice, like you can add up your practice time, you can see what kind of progress you made, and figure out what to do for the coming month. And those kinds of checkpoints are really, really important to me personally, so that's why I chose to include them in this journal. And at the end of the book, there is a year review. So you can, take a look at the entire journal, the entire year, and see how you did. Did you meet your goals? Did you change your goals? Did you exceed your goals? And that'll give you a better sense of where to go for the next year. So now I wanted to talk to you about how we priced it. And it is priced a little higher than than any other practice journal I've seen. It's going to be $23.99 USD. Basically, it's almost entirely because it's going to be in full color print. If we could have cut corners and done it in black and white, and it would have been a little bit more affordable, and we did strongly consider that, but at the same time, part of the whole reason for me making this was so that it was really aesthetically appealing in addition to being practical. So we decided to do more of like a premium priced practice journal because of that. And I just wanted to note that almost the entire cost of the notebook is going towards production and just kind of like additional fees that Amazon throws on there. So we're making a very, very small royalty out of this, and that's fine with us because the purpose of making this journal to us wasn't to make a profit. That's not why we're doing it. We just wanted to make something available to you that you might find useful. And I was making it anyway, so it just seemed like why not share it with you. So there's going to be 2 online spaces for you to purchase this book. One of them is Amazon, and as far as I know, it's going to be on Amazon Canada, USA, and Europe, and so like all European countries. I'm not sure about other countries through Amazon. It's a little unclear to me. I'll have to look into that a little bit more, but I know those ones for sure. And then the other place that you can buy them from is where we published from, which is CreateSpace. And CreateSpace ships worldwide. However, there are higher shipping fees, and I believe that Amazon is free shipping or a very like modest shipping price. To be completely transparent about it, we do get a larger royalty publishing directly from CreateSpace, and if you purchase from there, more goes towards us just because Amazon takes such a big cut. But again, use whatever is most convenient for you if you want to buy this book. It really doesn't matter to us either way. Again, this isn't about turning a profit or anything like that. It's just about sharing something that hopefully will be useful to you guys. So one thing I want to say before I wrap this up is that this is a first edition run, and it is self-published by the 2 of us, me and Logan. Because of that, if you see room for improvement, like if you find that you're using this journal and you have ideas for how it could be more functional and more useful, then definitely send us an email so we can consider making revisions for the 2nd edition. I really want to get your feedback and see just the things that you like and the things that you would change so that we can make it better and useful to more people in the future. And you can get in touch with us. Just visit the website pianotv.net. There's a contact page on there, and then you'll be able to find my email and drop me a line if you do decide to check it out. So that is all for today's video. I really appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me today and listen to my spiel about this whole journal. I've never done anything like this before. I've never published any type of book, and it's really, really, really exciting, and I hope it works out well, and I hope it's something that you guys will be able to use and enjoy and find practical. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll catch you in the next video. That was a really loud bird.